tenses once again. We learn in the first class that present simple is for every day, every week, every month, every year. Yeah, that's when we use present simple for anything that happens regularly all the time. And we use present continuous for something that we are in the middle of, if it is happening now. Okay, that's the most important difference between the two tenses. But a second thing that I want you to remember, and that Raymond Murphy tells you about straight away, that's why I like him. I think he has an excellent approach to learning the tenses. If we have a look just past the first couple of chapters that I looked at, we looked at this one. We looked at the first 3 chapters last time, but the first 2 chapters really. In chapter 3, Raymond decides to tell you about something else. He tells you, sorry, my kitten is annoying me at the moment, but he tells you one more thing. He tells you about I always do and I'm always doing. And this is like an exception really to the earlier rules. He recognizes that we often use always in present continuous in order to criticize. Yeah, this is just an exception. It's not how present continuous is normally used, but if you use always and present continuous, it means you are complaining about something. So he gives the following example. I've lost my phone again. I'm always losing things. And here you are criticizing yourself. You're saying, oh, I'm so silly. I'm always losing things. Yeah. So that's one exception in present continuous that you need to learn. The exception with always, where you are complaining. If you use always and present continuous, you are complaining about something that happens all the time. Yeah. So something like this. He is always eating his dinner and talking at the same time. Yeah. He's always talking with his mouth full. Something like that. And you're complaining. Okay, or he's always tapping on his phone. That's very common criticism, yeah, and you're complaining. So that's one thing to remember with present continuous. Perhaps I should get a little closer here so you can see this. I'm always doing, whenever you see always and present continuous, it is some kind of complaint, okay? Now, in the next chapter, chapter 4, he tells you about stative verbs, those verbs that I've already mentioned. Yeah, we do not say I am knowing. We do not say they are liking. We shouldn't say I am loving it. Yeah, my cat's just come up here. Look, you can have a little look at my cat, my new kitty. So we don't use these words like, want, need, prefer, know, realize, suppose, mean, understand. These are all stative verbs, and so you must not use them in continuous tenses. It's very important that you learn these stative verbs right from the beginning. And then it does mention that think could be stative, and it is stative when it means have an opinion. When it means in my opinion, if I think means in my opinion, it's a stative verb and you mustn't say I am thinking. But if think means consider, basically think about means consider, think of means have an opinion of something. So that's the difference. Think of is stative. Think about is dynamic, is active, and we often use it in the continuous. I am thinking about what happened. Nikki is thinking of giving up her job, or thinking about. Nikki is thinking about giving up her job. I would say thinking about there. I wouldn't use the of, because for me, of is normally opinion and about is normally a plan. Okay, now see, hear, smell, and taste, they might be, basically these have 2 meanings. If you use see to mean go out with a girl, yeah, meet her regularly, then it's dynamic. I have been seeing her for 3 months, yeah, and it means I have been going out with her for 3 months. But if you use see in the ordinary sense of do you see that man over there, we never say are you seeing. We never use see in continuous apart from when it means go out with somebody. So be aware that some verbs have a stative meaning and a dynamic meaning. Look and feel are dynamic or stative, just like live and work are dynamic or stative. And this means you can say I live here or I'm living here. You can say you look well today or you're looking well today. You can say I feel great or I'm feeling great. So those 4 verbs, look, feel, work, and live, often there's no difference between the simple or the continuous because they're both dynamic and stative. Here's my kitty again. Look, he's lovely. He is a lovely little kitty. So he is selfish, he is being selfish. Both of these are possible, but there's a slight difference in meaning now. He is selfish is what you say to mean that he is a selfish man, a generally selfish person. But he is being selfish means right now. You know, he's not always selfish, but he's being selfish right now at the moment. So this is logical because this looks a lot more like present continuous. So it means right now at the moment. Okay. And so, yeah, that will do for that page. But perhaps let's quickly look at an exercise now, because if we don't look at an exercise, then we can't understand how to use these. Sometimes doing an exercise really shows what we're talking about. So are you hungry? Do you want something to eat? Not are you wanting? Why? Because want is stative. Don't put the dictionary away. I am using it. Use is not stative. Yeah, I am in the middle of using the dictionary. Don't put it away. Don't put the dictionary away. I need it. Need is stative. You never say I am needing, he is needing, never. So it's I need it. Who is that man? What does he want? Want is stative. We need present simple. Who is that man? Why is he looking at us? Present continuous here because look is very dynamic. It's not stative. Not when you mean look with your eyes. If you mean look as in look like, he looks French, that is stative. Yeah, he looks French, she looks German. We would never say she is looking German. We would never say he is looking French. When you mean look like that, okay, it's stative. But when you mean look with your eyes, then it's very active. So why is he looking at us? Alan says he is 80 years old, but nobody believes him. Believe is stative. You can't use it in continuous. It's often the mind verbs. Believe is something you do with your mind. Like, love, prefer, want. All of these things are states of the mind. So it's often the states of the mind that are stative. She told me her name, but I don't remember it now. Yeah, remember is stative. We never use it in continuous. Yeah, you never say, I am remembering. I don't remember it. It's a state of mind again. I am thinking of selling my car, or I am thinking about selling my car is a plan, so it's dynamic. But I think you should sell your car. It is an opinion. Yeah, I am of the opinion that you should sell your car. So it's not a plan. If it's a plan, it's dynamic with think. And if it's an opinion, it's stative with think. So air consists mainly of nitrogen and oxygen. Consists is stative, is a state, what something consists of. So consist is stative as well. So I hope that exercise has been useful for you all. Let's have a look at what he does next with the tenses. But I really like the way he emphasizes that stative and dynamic verbs are incredibly important for learning the tenses. So then he goes on to past simple. Yeah, was, lived, started, wrote, was, died. He shows you some irregular verbs with past simple because, of course, not all verbs end ed. Some of them have irregular forms. It shows you the questions, how to make questions and negatives here. This is what I like about Mr. Murphy. He is thorough and he goes through everything. And then there are some exercises, but then he looks at past continuous. Now, I want you all to understand that the difference between present simple and present continuous is identical to the difference between past simple and past continuous. Past continuous means in the middle of. Yeah, I was in the middle of playing tennis is I was playing tennis. I played tennis means that it happened and it's done. And then the next thing happened and then the next thing. That's when we normally use past simple for consecutive events. This happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this had happened. Yeah, we only use past perfect when we're going back before earlier past simple. But past continuous for dynamic verbs, please, because you can't use that. You can't say I was wanting. You can't say I was believing, I was understanding. Stative verbs mustn't be used in past continuous either. Now, one thing that Murphy points out is that we do often use past continuous when we say when. We really do. We say at 10:30, if you want to say what you were in the middle of doing at 10:30, you must use past continuous. So I can tell you at 9:30, an hour ago, I was teaching my student Kate, yeah? And at 9:30, we were discussing modal verbs, for example. Yeah, and it means that we were in the middle of discussing. We were in the middle of having a lesson. Okay, so that should be clear, and that's already given you 4 tenses. Let's quickly look at past continuous or past simple, an exercise perhaps, because that will help us. And then I really ought to let my cat out because he's desperate to get out of this room. So what were you doing at these times yesterday, guys? So at 8 o'clock, I was having dinner. At 5 o'clock last Monday, I was on a bus on my way home. I'm going to tell you the truth now. At 9:15 yesterday morning, I think I was making a video on YouTube, maybe, something like that. At 4:30 this morning, I was sleeping, definitely. At 7:45 yesterday evening, I think I was probably watching television. Well, I mean, I was watching YouTube videos. And half an hour ago, I was teaching English. Now, we often use past continuous with the while, yeah, with past simple past continuous. When 2 actions happened, the short action will be in past simple, phoned, but the long action that you were in the middle of will be in past continuous. So Matt phoned while we were having dinner. The doorbell rang while I was reading the newspaper. The car began to make strange noises when we were going to church. Jessica fell asleep while she was sitting on the bus. The television was on, but nobody was listening. Okay, so you very often see past continuous when 2 actions are happening, and you want to say that one action you were in the middle of at the same time as something else happening. So look at this. I saw Sue. That can't be past continuous because see is a stative verb. I saw Sue in town yesterday, but she didn't see me. It's got to be simple. I know it's got to be simple because see is stative. She was looking the other way. Okay, look is not stative. It's dynamic. So we use look in past continuous here because we want to say she was in the middle of looking the other way. That's why she didn't see me. Okay, I met Tom and Jane at the airport a few weeks ago. Not I was meeting. Yeah, I met. It's done. They were going to Paris. When I saw them, they were in the middle of going to Paris and I was in the middle of going to Rome. So I was going to Rome. We had a chat while we were waiting for our flights. Yeah, we had a chat while we were waiting. And this is the idea that you were in the middle of waiting for your flights when you had a chat. Okay, I was cycling home yesterday when a man stepped out into the road in front of me. So I was in the middle of cycling home when suddenly a man stepped out. I was in the middle of going quite fast, but luckily I managed to stop in time. Manage, I don't think you ever use in past continuous or present continuous. I am managing something. Well, maybe, but here it's just I managed to stop in time and didn't hit him. Yeah, I was in the middle of cycling. I was in the middle of going fast, but I managed to stop and I didn't hit him. They're short actions. It's that I was going that you were in the middle of that's really long. Okay, let's try a few more on this one, 6.4. And then I really will let this poor cat out. Jenny was waiting for me when I arrived. Yeah, number 1. What were you doing at this time yesterday? Yeah, rather than what did you do? What were you doing means what were you in the middle of doing at this time yesterday? No, I was in the middle of sleeping. Okay, did you go out last night? Not were you going out. Did you go out last night? No, I was too tired. If you just want to ask a question of did you or not, you don't want to put someone in the middle of the action. So you just say, did you go out last night? No, I was too tired. Past simple. How fast were you driving when the accident happened? Yeah, you were in the middle of driving when the accident happened. So how fast were you driving when the accident happened? Sam took a picture of me while I wasn't looking. Yeah, he took a picture of me. Notice that take a photo is very quick. It's that long. But I wasn't looking. I was in the middle of looking far away in the wrong direction. Yeah, so I wasn't looking. We were in a very difficult position. We didn't know. No is stative, so it's never we weren't knowing. We didn't know what to do. I haven't seen, there's your present perfect, and it's because of 4, guys. Yeah, remember your present perfect signal words. I know we haven't done present perfect yet. Yet is a present perfect signal word, so we haven't done present perfect yet, but we will very soon with Raymond Murphy. Let me show you my poor kitty who's moaning. He wants to get outside. He really does. But I haven't seen Alan for ages. When I last saw him, see is a stative verb, he was trying to get a job. So he was in the middle of trying to get a job. He hadn't got a job, but he was trying to. He was in the middle of trying. I was walking along the street when suddenly I heard footsteps behind me. So this is a 2 actions again. I was in the middle of walking when I heard. Here is stative. The only time here is not stative is when you are hearing voices or having visions. That's the kind of idea. When you are hearing voices, okay, it's not stative, but that's very rare. Somebody was following me. Yeah, I heard footsteps behind me. Somebody was in the middle of following me. I was scared and I started to run. Okay, when I was young, I wanted, want is a stative verb. I wanted to be a pilot. And last night I dropped a plate, drop is very quick, when I was doing the washing up. Yeah, I was in the middle of doing the washing up and I dropped a plate very quick. Fortunately, it didn't break. Yeah. So, yeah, of course, this is quick. It didn't break. Yeah, break is a quick action. Again, it's not a long action. Now, I hope that has helped everybody. I hope that makes the difference between past simple and past continuous really clear. And I'll put some exercises up on my website, of course, later today on the page on tenses. I'm going to let my cat out now. I feel sorry for the poor little kitty. But please come along for lessons. I might do another one on modal verbs very soon once my cat's had a little bit of time in the garden. But please come along to all of these classes. Please visit my website if you want to keep up with all of the new lessons. Please hit the notifications bell if you're worried about missing live classes. Then that's what you do. You hit the notifications bell. And I hope to see you all soon. Thanks for coming.